What's going on? My name is Francis, and if you're new to this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell because I post a new video every single day. If you want to become a private client, then consider applying for a free consultation by hitting the website that's in the description box of this video. What we're going to be talking about in this video is how to remove any limiting belief, okay? But if you want to remove a limiting belief, you have to first understand what a limiting belief even is. A limiting belief is nothing more than a reoccurring thought that is playing in your head. That's all it is. That's all a limiting belief really is. It's just a reoccurring thought. So the key to actually remove limiting beliefs is to first have awareness of those beliefs, because if you don't have the awareness of the belief and the reoccurring thought that is playing in your head, then you're not going to have the ability to actually let it go and remove the limiting belief, because the part that makes it limiting is actually the lack of awareness of it. When you actually have awareness of the thought processes, now you're in a position to actually let go of the limitations, because there's spaciousness between who you really are and then the thought. But most people don't really make that distinction between who they really are and then the thoughts about who they think they are. And that's where the ego comes in, because here's the thing. A lot of people are unconsciously absorbed in the thinking mind without even realizing it. And this is creating a lot of anxiety, this is creating a lot of stress, this is creating a lot of worry in people's lives, and it's creating a lot of limitations in their lives, because the ego, the unconscious part of you, the thought processes that were absorbed into unconsciously include a lot of limitation in your life. In fact, if you are absorbed by the ego, that whole structure in your mind is a limitation in itself, because you're unconscious of the thought processes that you have, and those thought processes are still controlling you, and a lot of them are also very, very limiting and not allowing you to tap into your true potential. Because those thought processes, even though you don't realize that they're happening, doesn't mean that they're still not controlling your reality. And so when it comes to actually removing these limitations, the key here is to have the awareness. Because when I started meditating over 3 years ago, what I learned is that I can simply be the awareness of my thoughts rather than unconsciously be absorbed into them. Because my awareness was always absorbed into my thinking, and then it would control me. There was a lot of limitations there. A lot of thoughts can happen that are unconscious that say things like, I'm not confident, or I'm not worthy, or I can't reach my financial goals. And if you're unconscious of those thoughts and you believe in them unconsciously because you're agreeing to those beliefs, the beliefs that we have, we usually got when we were younger, and then we unconsciously agreed to those beliefs, and then we believe in those thoughts, those reoccurring thoughts in our mind. We actually choose to believe in them. But the problem is that it's not necessarily a choice, because usually we're very unconscious of them. So that is why the key here is to have the awareness, because it's not really a choice if you're actually unconscious of those beliefs, because you unconsciously agreed, meaning that those reoccurring thoughts are happening in your mind, but you don't realize that they're happening. And even though you don't realize that they're happening, they are still controlling your life. So when you simply have the awareness and the spaciousness where you can notice that thought and simply be the witnessing presence, now you're in a position to notice that thought and say, wait a second, I don't actually have to believe in that thought. That thought has nothing to do with who I am. And then once you create that spaciousness, you actually open room for possibility to fully reach your potential in life, because you're not unconsciously limited and absorbed into the ego meaning the unobserved mind. The ego is nothing more than a lack of awareness and being absorbed in the mind so much that you create a false concept and an image for who you actually are. You're not connected to this moment. You're not seeing the reality and the potential of what can really happen. You're seeing it through the filter of your mind. And that whole concept in your head of who you think you are, that self-image that is a construction of many beliefs and many thoughts that are reoccurring in your mind, is actually stopping you from fully living into your potential. So the key here is to simply be the awareness, because in the awareness And in the spaciousness where you are here and then there's the thoughts, but you are not those thoughts, you just opened infinite intelligence and infinite possibilities in your life, because once you see it, now you're in the position to say, wait a second, I don't actually have to believe in this thought. But you wouldn't be able to come to that conclusion and disagree with that thought if you didn't have awareness of it and it was happening in the background. Because if I was to ask you right now, how many thoughts are you unconscious of? You would not be able to give me an answer, because those thoughts are unconscious, meaning that you don't realize that they're happening. That's what it means to be unconscious of your thought patterns. It means that they're still happening in the background, but literally you do not have awareness of that voice in your head telling you certain things about yourself, okay? But if you don't have awareness of those thoughts, they're still going to be controlling your reality, okay? So the key here is actually to notice those thoughts. And in the observation of those thoughts, then you'll be able to let them go. So the number one key to actually remove limiting beliefs from your life is, once again, by no surprise if you've been watching these videos, is awareness of them. Because in the awareness of the ego, it's not the ego anymore. And then now you're actually in a position to rewrite those beliefs and then choose to believe in the beliefs that you prefer. You can see certain thoughts and say, wait a second, I'm going to believe in that thought because I like that thought. You can have another thought that comes in and says, oh, I'm not confident. You say, wait a second, I don't actually have to believe in that thought. That thought has nothing to do with who I am. And then when you can come to that conclusion and notice that that thought is not who you are and it's nothing more than a pattern, now you're actually in a position to remove the limiting beliefs that are happening in your life. Now you're in a position to live into your full potential because you're not blocked by unconscious belief systems, unconscious thought patterns that were creating your reality without you even realizing it. So the key to all of this is awareness. That is why meditation is an extremely powerful tool. Okay, make sure you hit that like button so more people can see this kind of information, because this information is extremely powerful, and it's best if most people see this kind of information and understand that they can actually remove those limiting beliefs and not attach to them. Because when you are attached to your thoughts and you don't have awareness of them, those thoughts are literally controlling your reality. They're literally controlling your reality. That's what the law of attraction is your thoughts and your beliefs create your reality, and those thoughts lead to feelings that lead to actions. And if you are unconscious of a belief system, which is a reoccurring thought, that will block you from taking a lot of action in the external world that you could be taking, but you're not taking because those limiting beliefs are there. But if you have awareness of them and then you can make the choice to not believe in them, now you're in the position to actually live into your dream and into your vision, because those beliefs are not controlling you anymore. The belief only happens when you unconsciously agree to those reoccurring thoughts. But then in the awareness, you can say, wait a second, I actually agreed to this unconsciously at some point in my life, and I've been attached to this, and I agreed that I'm not a confident person. I agreed that this is just who I am. But you can disagree, but you have to be aware first to actually make that disagreement and then rewrite your story, okay? So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you hit the like button so more people can see this kind of information. If you like this kind of content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell, because I post a new video every single day. Once again, if you want to become a private client, then consider applying for a free consultation by hitting the website that's in the description box of this video. Have yourself a great day and see you in the next video.